What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. July has just ended. Frank Ocean may have broken our hearts, but we're still pushing on forward. We're being strong and confident that maybe the album will come out one day. But for now, we're going to look at releases that actually have dates coming out in August 2016. These are four of my most anticipated albums for August. Certainly there's more that have dates, and then even plenty that have rumored, release dates, and I'm sure there'll be some surprises. So let's get right into it. On August 5th, we have Travis Scott, Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight. Like I said in my previous video, it's a contender for album title of the year. I just love that title. And I think Travis has really built up himself since Rodeo. And it hasn't even been a year yet. So he's gotten a whole lot bigger. He was on tour with Rihanna. He's been doing all these festivals. And he's been teasing so much music. You can go online and see how much music he's been teasing. All these snippets, whether he was performing live, it comes from Instagram, Snapchat, etc. So he's been working. And that album is coming out on August 5th. But at the same time, I feel like he may push it back because I think Mike Dean posted a Snapchat or an Instagram clip or something that Travis is still working on the album. You got less than a week, so I know the album's going to be digital only first, week or two. So there's still a possibility that it's likely going to drop on August 5th. But if he's still working, and then he was also teasing a single with The Greatest Rapper. And I touched on this a lot more in another video of what you need to know about Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight, so I'll include that in the description so you can check out. But basically he has this single with what he calls The Greatest Rapper, and there's a lot of speculation it could be Jay-Z, but he said single, so I was expecting it to be out before the album, so I don't know, I feel like there's a possibility that the album might get pushed back, even if it's a week or two, just to build up the hype a little bit more. So we'll see if August 5th actually stays in the cards for Travis Scott. The following week, Partynextdoor's PND 3 will be out. Now, originally there was rumors that it was going to be an Apple Music exclusive for 2 weeks, like streaming, like we've seen like Lil Yachty, we've seen Logic, we've seen a couple other people put out projects that were streaming for 2 weeks before they were available to purchase or stream elsewhere. So it was assumed that there was going to be July 29th, and that's when PND 3 would be out. But for whatever reason, that plan got scraped, and it's coming out on the 12th. So this is his first project in a little over 2 years. July 29th, 2014 marks the 2-year anniversary of PND 2. And since then, Partynextdoor has been very mysterious, He just kind of stays in the shadows and then pops up when he needs to. He's taking over OVO Sound Radio, and there's been no shortage of music, at all. You can look online and see all of his musical output in the last 2 years. He probably has more or less an entire project worth of material out there, and it's unknown if some of that is actually going to seep onto PND 3 or if everything that's on PND 3 is going to be new, minus the few singles that he's put out so far. I'm not the biggest Partynextdoor fan, but at the same time, I'm all about giving people chances. So maybe I'm not seeing the hype in PND 1 and 2, but maybe 3 is the one that makes me a believer. I always think that an artist can create several bodies of work that maybe not resonate with me, but resonate with everybody else. And then he makes that one project where I'm like, okay, now I'm a fan. Now I can sit here and say I'm a fan. So we'll see if Partynextdoor has that album. I've liked the singles. The Come and See Me was really good. So on August 12th, PND 3. Our last two releases are coming out on the same day, August 19th. First up, we have French Montana, Mac and Cheese 4, MC4, however you want to say it. French waited for the perfect time. You got No Shopping with Drake, you got Lockjaw with Kodak Black, and you got Figure It Out with Kanye West and Nas. You can't have a better rollout than that. I mean, maybe if you look at French's debut album, he had a bigger rollout because he had Pop That, But at the same time, he's gotten bigger. He like all the time really just aligned for him this time. I mean, you look at the singles that he has, and none of these singles would have happened in 2015. No Shopping. Maybe you would have seen French and Drake collaborate again, but it wouldn't have been No Shopping. It wouldn't have been that moment, where Drake is throwing subliminals at Joe Budden. And then Lockjaw wouldn't have happened because Kodak Black probably wasn't on French Montana's radar in 2015. Or at least around the time the album was supposed to come out. There's been so many release dates for MC4, but I'm glad to see that the wait is actually paying off. French did a cover story for XXL, their digital cover story, and he talked about how he felt he wasn't ready to put out MC4 despite, putting out all these release dates. And so I think that's a really good way to put it. Maybe that's not the entire truth. Maybe he was struggling to find that single, and the label's not going to put him out until he gets that buzz going. But whatever the case is, the stars align for August 19th, and that's when French Montana drops MC4. The second album dropping on that same day is Tory Lanez' I Told You, his debut album. It features no guest. The track listing just surfaced recently, and there's absolutely no features on this album. A bold statement for Tory Lanez. And I've been a fan of his since, I want to say 2011 maybe. I want to say, Swavy, a mixtape. He had one, Mr. One Verse Killer was the very first introduction, but Swavy was like, okay, this guy could be something big. And then he dropped, there was one mixtape he dropped that I really enjoyed. It's on my iPod. I'm blanking on the name right now. But it was like the project that I was like, man, this guy is very talented. And he's had other projects over the years and songs. And I've just been watching his growth. And in the last year, I've kind of been disappointed to see him resort to the tactics of having to go at Drake. There was no reason for that. I get the comparisons. They've always been there. But Tory didn't have to acknowledge him. He didn't have to pay him any mind. He could have just kept going and, putting out music and growing his fan base. That's all he needed to do. So I've been kind of disappointed to see that this album, the campaign is kind of relying around Drake. Drake's throwing shots at him. Tory's in interviews throwing shots back. He's releasing songs over Drake records, trying to make them better or whatever the reasoning is. I just want to see him focus on creating a memorable debut album because I know he has it in him. So August 19th, you got those two releases. So you got Travis Scott, Birds in the Trap, Sing McKnight on August 5th. Then you got P&D 3, August 12th. French Montana MC4, and Tory Lanez I Told You on August 19th. And again, there's more releases coming out, but these are the four that are on my highly anticipated, most anticipated, however you want to word it, that list. So let me know what you think about these four albums coming out. And let me know if there's any other albums in August that you're checking for. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.